Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to be making a jig that would be traditionally used to cut out stair treads to get the perfect size and angle for a staircase. But in my case I'm going to be using it to cut shiplap, which I'm doing in our bathroom and where I'm just doing the back walls. I just want to get perfect angles. Walls should be fairly straight, but the perfect size. I want to get as tight as a fit as I can to avoid using any kind of molding on the edges. If I don't like the looks, I will put molding on the edges. But anyways, this video is about making this jig, which I said traditionally you'd probably use it for treads on a staircase, and same concept could be used, just varying the size. So I'll go search my scrap wood and see about what I'm going to use to make this. So here are some of the materials that I'll be using. Just got a piece of scrap pine. You could use anything for this part. This piece of 1/2-inch plywood. And as I said, typically for treads on a staircase, but in my case I'm just going to be doing shiplap. So shiplap here is about 5.5 inches. So in the case of this, I'm just going to make the end part 5 inches. If this was a stair and whatever it is, if it was 8 inches, I would make that part 8 inches. So it'll just be a piece, sort of like a triangle, going into this piece. And I have these that I'm going to use to be able to adjust. Now the width that I'm talking about is 41 inches, so I'll be cutting this to something less than 41. I'll do that after making end pieces. So I'm going to first cut this down to the 5 inches and then cut it in half. This piece is 11, so I can do 5.5 inches just to see how that works out. So let me make those cuts to start with. So here are my two pieces cut at 5 inches, and now I'm just going to do a taper down to 2.5, which is the width of this. So I can measure 2.5, which is half of 5, and then will be 1 1/4 on each side. And then we'll make that line right there. And then we'll cut that out, and then so these pieces will go something like that. So I'll cut these two pieces to that. So I've marked these pieces for the hole. I just went about 2 inches from there. In the center of here, I'll be first using a 3/4 inch forcer bit to countersink so that this is below the surface. And then I'll do with a 1/4 inch bit for the actual bolt. So I'll start doing that now. So here's the holes in the two pieces that'll fit the bolt. So now just need to figure out how wide I want this piece to be. So just say we have some leeway here to move it up and down. It's not going to be a whole lot, but say start there. I don't know. So this slot will start about here, and it can go as far as I want there, but I'm not going to need that much. But so let's just see. This one will be, let's just say 3.5 inches. to 1 inch. That'll be the width of that. So if I go all the way in, and I know my piece needs to be about 41 for this application. Let's start with 39, see what that does. So I'll cut this piece. Again, if you're doing stairs, this piece would probably be a lot shorter, depending on your stair width. But in my case, my wall is 41 inches. So let me cut that piece. So I've marked each end of this piece, going from 1 inch to 3.5 inches, and a line in the center. So I'll just have to make a 1/4 inch groove here. Probably do it a number of different ways. Drill 2 1/4 inch holes, use a jigsaw to go across, or use on the router table, just plunge in and do a groove of a 1/4 inch. So I think that's what I might do. So I've got the router bit set in there, 1/4 inch. I did start a hole there, so hopefully I could just go down and then go across. So let's give that a try. So here's the slot that I just cut with the router table, and that'll slide in there just fine. So now I can add these pieces to the longer section. Add a little washer there, and then the quick connect. Of course, get this nice and tight initially. Get the bolt all the way through. Do the same for the second one. Add the washer and the nut here. And now we can see right now at this point, we got a little over 41, and then we can go as small as it goes. At that point it's 39.5, so we have a lot of leeway there. So I can adjust this to anything I want. You could add, if there's any kind of angle, you can tighten it and get the proper width. So let's go try it in the toilet area. I'm now in our owner suite bath area where the toilet will be, and my plan is to put shiplap on this back wall. This is why I built this jig. This jig traditionally would be for stairs, doing the width for the treads. For that, you would probably make this the width of the treads and the length of this, whatever you needed. But in this case, I'll use it for this inside wall. I probably will use a level here. Then you can adjust these guys to get the perfect angle, and the perfect width. And then set these, lock it into place. Then you can take this out to your shop and cut each of the pieces, whether it be a tread on a staircase or in my case shiplap for this wall. This now concludes this video of making this jig. Hopefully you enjoyed and got something out of it. Thanks for watching and hope to see you again soon. Bye.